Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my senior project concert. I am so glad that all of you came here tonight. I just want to give a little shout out first. I know a lot of my family members are here in the audience from New York and New Jersey, so it means so much to me that you guys came such a long way to see this performance, and I really hope you guys like it. So first off, before I start, I just want to explain a little bit about what senior projects are and why I chose this one to be mine. So every Sidwell senior is required to plan out, put together, and execute a project during their final month of high school. The project can be an independent project or a group project, and the possibilities are pretty much endless. We've had people doing baking, people doing, hiking, but I decided to do an arts project. I've pretty much known since I heard about senior projects for the first time that I wanted to do an arts-related senior project, but the idea of a dual language concert never really occurred to me until my time studying abroad with the China Fieldwork Semester Program my junior year of high school, which was an amazing experience. For me, a dual language concert was actually a way to combine two of my major interests, those being Chinese language and music, as well as a way to demonstrate the progress I've made in those areas throughout high school. This project means a lot to me, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys tonight. I also wanted to talk a little bit about why the title of this concert is called Today. Throughout this whole process, I kind of struggled with finding a overarching theme to tie all the music on my program together, and I don't really have one still. The themes and messages of all of the songs I'm singing tonight are very different, but the title for me is more about the project's meaning than it is about the music's meaning. Besides being the name of one of the songs on the program, Today actually has a lot to do with the fact that this concert is happening at a really important turning point in my life. I'm about to leave behind the life I've been leading and building at Sidwell for the past 10 years. It's definitely a super weird and also bittersweet time to be going through, and I'm sure all of my fellow seniors in the audience, as well as people who have already graduated from Sidwell, can definitely relate. But the thing is that this concert has actually helped me to focus on my last couple of weeks here at Sidwell. And I've learned to take things one day at a time, and which makes it easier to kind of come to grips or deal with things that have proved to be really difficult for me, like saying goodbye to my friends and saying goodbye to my teachers. My grandma always tells me, don't wish your life away. And it kind of feels like my whole life I've been waiting to move to the next thing, waiting to graduate, waiting to go to college, all of that. But now I feel like I'm finally starting to understand the importance of slowing down. So one of the lyrics translated from Fleeting Days, which is a song I'll be performing later, fits particularly well here. Today is just today. I'm sorry I never saw it that way. I hope you all will join me in experiencing every minute of tonight's program. So the first song I'll be performing tonight is called Braille by Regina Spektor. It is one of my favorite songs of all time, and Regina's music was one of the inspirations for me to actually start writing songs back in middle school, and I've always really admired her as a songwriter and performer. The song is from her very first album, which is called 1111. Her style has changed a lot since 1111 came out, but I really love kind of the raw acoustic and very personal feeling of the songs on the album, especially this one.
She was lying on the floor and counting stretch marks. She had been a virgin and he had been a god. So she named the baby Elvis to make up for the royalty he lacked. And from then on it was turpentine and patches. From then on was cold Campbell's from the can. And they were just two jerks playing with matches. That's all they knew how to play. They were just two jerks playing with matches. That's all they knew how to play. Elvis never could carry a tune in. She thought about the siren as she stared back at the moon, and she was tracing her ears with her fingers on her skin, saying, well, why don't I begin again with turpentine and patches with cold, cold Campbells from the canyon. They were just two jerks playing with matches. She said he's not around to play long, yeah. I'm still a jerk playing with candles, blowing out wishes, blowing out dreams, just sitting here trying to decipher what's written in Braille upon my skin. She was lying on the floor and counting stretch. She was lying on the floor and counting stretch. She was lying on the floor, lying, and counting stretch.
Thank you so much. At this point, I want to invite my friends Stacy and Caroline to join me up here. It has been so much fun to rehearse this song with these girls over the past couple of weeks, and I am so incredibly grateful to them for all the work they have done with their respective instruments to make this song come alive. This song's English title is Jealousy, and it's by a singer named Chen or Chen. It's a love ballad. Surprise, surprise, my favorite type of song. The song describes the singer's feelings of jealousy and insecurity as they witness the person that they love in turn loving someone else. Also, another friend that has to come out right now is Anders Broadnax because he's turning Stacey's pages.
心中的一个结，紧紧地锁住我，微弱似风中不安感受。该如何面对你温柔眼神？但心中有了疑问，而我是不是你的唯一？而你是不是真的在乎我？请相信我，请相信我的心，就这样地转入幸福的深渊，嫉妒你的快乐，它并不是因为我真心退缩在黑暗角落。该如何倾听你温柔声音？它并不只属于我。而你是不是真的在乎我？而我是不是你的永久？嫉妒你的快乐，它并不是因为我真心退缩在黑暗角落。该如何倾听你温柔声音？它并不只属于我。而你是不是真的在乎我？而我是不是你的永久？
This next song is by the Front Bottoms, which is one of my favorite bands of all time. I was lucky enough to see them live in November of last year, and it was probably one of the most high-spirited and exciting evenings I have ever had. Their songs just exude a clumsy but driven youthful energy which I find to be contagious, and are extremely fun to dance around to. This song, called Peach, is in my opinion one of their cutest and sappiest songs. The lyrics are addressed to a person who can make you smile, even when it feels like there's nothing to smile about. I think we all know at least one person like that, and this song is for them. This next song is called Today. I wrote it this year in November and performed it for the first time for Arts Guild, Sidwell's open mic night that I was lucky enough to be a co-head of this year. The lyrics of this song can be interpreted in any number of ways because I like to leave those kinds of things ambiguous, but what's most important, I guess, are the general themes of hope and perseverance, as well as the idea that we have to make use of and enjoy every day to the fullest.
Watching the world break your heart. No statement to finish, no sentence to start. We let noise fill the room so as not to be heard. Helplessly, bitterly choking on words. I'll lend you my body to live in. Oh, we're not ready to give in. I am watching you, watching the evening arrive. There's not much to see, but your eyes are alive. And what can we do when the sky starts to fall? Chasing stars is still better than nothing at all. I'll lend you my body to live in. Oh, we're not ready to give in. Somewhere out in the night there is something that brings us to light. I know somewhere out in the night you are waiting to walk in the light, so believe me. Out in the night there is something that brings us to light. I know somewhere out in the night you are waiting to walk in the light, so there's always a way for us somehow.
This next song is a song about self-discovery, originally written and performed by a Taiwanese indie rock band called Hello Nico. The lyrics themselves are a journey of sorts, describing a person's thoughts as they go from confused and muddled, unable to determine who they are, to carefree and confident as they reaffirm truths about life and about their own self. For this next song, I want to invite my good friend Amelia to join me on stage. Thank you so much for agreeing to sing this song with me and putting in so much effort and time. It's an honor, seriously, it's an honor to hear your beautiful voice singing something that I wrote. And I've been so happy to spend the past little while with you learning it. On both ends. This song is called Oceans, and I wrote it in honor of all of the friends I've met during my time at Sidwell. This concert closes a chapter of my life where I've encountered a lot of obstacles, met a lot of personal goals, and experienced a lot of new things. Over the past 4 years, I've been lucky enough to have people that I love to accompany me through those things. Although people will inevitably come in and out of my life at different stages, I wrote this song to express the fact that I will always love and miss those people, no matter where we are in space or time. this next song was the first song in Chinese that I ever performed at Arts Guild. Some of you might know this story, some of you might not. But after my performance, I sent a video of me doing this to the original singer of the song through Facebook, not ever expecting her to reply. But she did. I got to have a really nice conversation with her about music. It was so cool to get to talk to someone who I looked up to so much as an artist and to get some feedback from her about how I interpreted her work. The lyrics of this song are very beautiful, using descriptive and almost poetic language to convey this metaphor of someone who's built up a lot of walls to prevent people from getting close to them. I hope you like it. next song, called 日子 or Fleeting Days, is one of my favorite songs of all time by my favorite Mandarin indie pop singer, Xuan. As you all will hear in a minute, the accompaniment, or it was actually originally for guitar, but then I transposed it to piano. It's fairly repetitive, rocking softly back and forth, while the simple but evocative lyrics soar above it. The lyrics of this song are also pretty open to interpretation, but to me personally, the song is about having to part with somebody you love. Are we noticing a theme here? I'm not great with words, so it's kind of hard for me to explain what this song means to me exactly, but I hope you all will take a look at the translation of the song on your program, because I think the lyrics are some of the most beautiful and poignant ones on the whole set tonight. Another thing you might notice about this song is the length, as it's also the longest song on the program. I'm very excited to have a chance to perform the song for you all, especially because at Arts Guild, which is my other main performance outlet at Sidwell, I always end up feeling guilty if my act is longer than 4 minutes. Alright, I hope you all like this song. Just gonna get a drink of water.
我不知道今天会是今天，一旦撑到明天，明天就不再是明天，而今天就是今天。我好抱歉，我没察觉。我走过一家店，我看见他卖的，但不知道里面有什么事，我想条件。这要跟你说的事情，因为总是倾斜至一边，所以你总笑我对后面的和谐没有概念。大的就要看起来大，小的最后小的没有人能看见。你爱我会容易极限，严厉与慈悲相伴而相对。我爱你，你是一个世界。寂寞如山，深如歌，夏日以来总深入人寂寞，终日如相伴。寂寞应该是调味，我必可词汇。我的孤单和孤单的你，卡在指尖，各自无言，彼此看见，只想喜悦。在我了解这些以后那天，我向你说了却不认真的再见。可我深深的亲吻你的 每天都是我能爱你的最后一天，每个今天。后来不是未来，而是从此现在今天。我们像所有人一样谦卑，忙碌与分别，走出家里，走在日复大街，
For this next song, I'd like to welcome Billy Grummer and Mr. Touchton to join me on stage. I'm infinitely grateful to Billy for agreeing to sing this duet with me, and infinitely in awe of his beautiful and expressive voice. Mr. Touchton, my hardworking senior project advisor and incredible chorus director, will be accompanying us on the piano. This song is from the musical Rent, which the Upper School performed this year. At this point in the show, characters Roger and Mimi's relationship has become increasingly strained, but they sing this song to convey their feelings for one another. Simultaneously, characters Collins and Angel, whose health is declining due to AIDS, are seen on the stage as Colin cares for Angel at Angel's bedside, and the song becomes about both couples' struggles. Besides just being a meaningful and beautiful piece of music, both inside and outside of the context of the musical, this song also has special meaning for me, and I'm so grateful to Mr. Touchton and Billy for helping to make it come alive for my senior project.
Without you, the ground lost, the rain falls, the grass grows. Without you, the seeds root, the flowers bloom. The children play, the stars hand grows, the ear hears, the pulse beats.
Without you, the eyes gaze, the legs walk, the lungs breathe, the mind shines, the heart yearns, the tears dry. Without you, life goes on, but I'm gone, 'cause I
We're about to get into what will be the last piece on my program, but before that I want to thank a couple people who have helped to make the senior project process an amazing, incredible time for me, and also some other people who weren't really involved in the senior project process, but also helped to make my life great. So first of all, I want to talk about all of my Chinese teachers, past and present. I'm just going to name all of you guys from the first one to the last one. So, 张老师, Xiong 老师, Tang 老师, Xu 老师, Xue 老师, Wang 老师. I want to talk about Wang 老师 really quickly, because not only has she been my Chinese teacher, but she's also been a friend and mentor to me. When I decided that I wanted to do the Chinese bridge competition in sophomore year and then again in junior year, she was kind of my coach and inspiration and guidance through the whole process, and I honestly wouldn't have been able to be where I am today, loving Chinese, loving life without her. She just taught me, how to be confident, how to respect myself, love myself, all of that stuff. She's basically like my second mom, so I'm so grateful to her for everything she's done for me. Second, I want to talk about some of my music teachers and mentors. Ms. Orciolo from the lower school, Sam Brush, my first ever piano teacher, Ms. Yin, my second piano teacher and final piano teacher. Ms. Holtz, middle school chorus teacher and teacher when I was in the Washington Girls Chorus. Ms. Lisa, who was my music teacher in 8th grade. And then also there are two more people that have been music guidance people and really just important to me that I want to talk about a little bit more in detail. First, Mr. Merlin Jones. I don't know if he's in the audience. Yes, he's right there. Ever since I started doing Arts Guild sophomore year, you have always provided me with words of encouragement, always saying things like when I finish, you're like, when's your album coming out? I'm like, I don't know, I haven't written more than 4 songs, stuff like that. But just the constant encouragement I get from you really just inspires me and has helped me to become who I am today, in terms of my musician identity and stuff like that. And then, working with you this year with Arts Guild was so incredible. And just, you have done so much for me as a person and a mentor. So I'm very grateful to you for that. And then second, I want to talk a little bit about Mr. Touchton. For those of you who don't know, Mr. Touchton is and has been my chorus director for the past 4 years, and I've gotten to work more closely with him this year as not only my senior project advisor, but also I was chorus co-president this year, so I was able to work with him on a lot of stuff. This is his last year at Sibyl Friends School, which is really very sad, and the Sibyl community has gained so much from his leadership, and I know that all of us have been impacted by him in one way or another, and we're all very sad to see him go, but are also excited to see what new kinds of things he does after this in Los Angeles. So that's very cool. Just a few words about Mr. Chen. I came into chorus as a 9th grader. I didn't even really know how to sing. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of making it up. And Mr. Chen is a teacher, but he is also a chorus director, and those are two very separate things. And I feel like in the chorus classroom, it can sometimes be really hard to teach at people because it's more about the activity of singing. But he always manages to put the right words in the right places. And just thinking back from freshman year till now, all of the things that I have ingrained in me and that I know as a musician, so many of them have come from him. And so I definitely wouldn't be where I am today without his teaching, his guidance, everything like that. So thank you very much for your attention. I also want to thank my relatives who have come out tonight from very far places to be here. First, thank you to all my aunts and uncles. I see you guys right there, 4th row. And thank you to Harry and Benny for coming. You are the best cousins that anyone could ever have. And my grandma is also here from New Jersey. She's traveled a very long way. I'm so, so glad she could be here tonight. And last but not least, my parents. I'm kind of a private person when it comes to music, and so my parents haven't really heard a lot of me singing ever outside of mandatory things like school concerts and this and Arts Guild and stuff like that. They actually, I told them they weren't allowed to come to Arts Guild for the first 2 years that I did it, and they finally caught on that some other parents actually come to Arts Guild, so then they started coming. I told them they didn't come, but they came anyway. So I just want to thank you guys for your support and love of me, and just raising me and helping me become the person who I am today. Wouldn't have been able to do it without you. Wouldn't have been able to be born without you. So. And also want to thank my friends. I see a lot of you guys out here tonight. I'm so, so, so happy to have known you, to have met you, to have loved all of you guys in the way that I do. You mean so much to me, and your presence here means the world. So thank you for being here. Then I want to thank everyone who helped me on my program. I've already talked about a couple of you being Mr. Roland Jones and Mr. Touchton, but I also just want to say thank you. They're backstage, but Anders, Billy, Amelia, Caroline, and Stacy, thank you so much for all of your hard work and helping with your various instruments, helping to make this come together. So grateful for all of your hard work. And then also Jack Ellickbeck, who's up there in the tech booth doing tech for my show. Who I can see right there from the window, also helping with tech. I've had so many questions and problems that I have been what do I even do? And then Gil's always here you go. And I'm okay. So that was much needed during the senior project process. So I'm so, so grateful to all of those people for making this night what it is and quite literally helping to put the project into place. So. Without further ado, I'd like to invite up incredible pianist and great friend Anders Brodernax. Anders, known also to his friends as the Piano God, graciously agreed to accompany me for this final song, and it has been so much fun to work with him the past couple weeks. I found this song while watching a Chinese singing competition called I Am the Singer. Jen, an artist I was really into at the time, did a super cool cover of it on the show. I went back and listened to the original, which had a completely different feel. So for this performance, Anders and I actually ended up combining the piano parts from the two versions of the song because I like them both so much. And I hope you all will also like it. So, yeah.
风远远地吹着我的脸，我的手，我的发，我的心，我的眼睛。你远远地待在那个城，那个屋，那个房，那个店，那扇窗口。我静静地放着你给我的 CD 音乐当作背景，怎么唱不再煽情。我记得你习惯闭着眼抱着我，好像我是你的脸，笑嘻嘻。我不是该如何对你笑，对你哭，张着嘴不理你，像个机器。你的世界，我的日子，好像没有谁对谁发过脾气。过得太快，来不及。哎呦哎呦哎呦哎呦哎呦，我说我们要不要在一起？柔情的日子里，生活的不费力气，傻傻看你，只要和你在一起。不像现在，只能遥远地唱着你。
So before you all go, I actually have one more thing that I have to do, and to do it I have to run into the costume room really quick to get some flowers, so I'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. flowers for some very important people. And I'm going to call them up one by one, and some of them are in the audience, some of them are not in the audience. So we will see what happens. All right, first, Anders Brodnax, who played piano tonight. Next, Billy Gurmer, who sang. Stacy Chen, who played piano. Caroline Beckman, who played cello. So we'll just give this to her another time. And last but not least, Amelia Gunn Hawkins, who sang with me. Jack, I want to give you a rose, but I think he's still up there. I'm not going to ask him to come down, I'll just give it to him later. But Jack Allenbeck, who did the text. And then I have these three for three important and cool people. First important and cool person is Mr. Touchton. Second cool and important person is Mr. Merlin Jones. I see you. Come on. Not least, Joe. Hi. High flowers for you, but you're up there. I'll give it that because you're better, but round of applause for Joe. Thank you all again so much for coming tonight. I hope you had a great time and really enjoyed yourself. There is a reception outside with some lemonade and cookies if that interests you, and I will see you all out there. Thank you.